While I do know a few things about pro wrestling, or at least I think I do, I know absolutely nothing about comics. I've dabbled in a few graphic novels and older, well-recommended Marvel arcs, but I would not call myself a comic connoisseur by any means. So that's going to make today's video a bit more interesting when I look at WWF BattleMania, a comic released in the summer of 1991 and surviving until early 1992. The WWF teamed up with Valiant comics for these action-packed publications, and I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about Valiant comics. From what I gathered, they've went through various owners over the years, and I think they're still in business today. But who cares? They made a WWF comic book back in 1991, and today I'm going to read issue 1 for the very first time. I did have a quick look at a few of the panels, and it does look absolutely ridiculous, so let's get started. First of all, great front cover. If there was ever a WWF superstar who looked like a comic book character, it was definitely the Ultimate Warrior. Featuring Texas Tornado versus Mr. Perfect in a wild battle nobody saw. Was it a dark match? An inside look at the $1 Million Man's lifestyle. Man, we saw those clips on TV already. And a 12-page WWF catalogue. I do like looking at old WWF merchandise, so this is probably going to be the highlight for me, not going to lie. Our first page is an ad for the WWF Wrestling Challenge board game from Milton Bradley, along with the WWF Superstars card game. I never got the chance to play these, so let me know in the comments if they're any good. I'd actually love to do a video on wrestling board games sometime. Alright, here we go. Our first story is named The Perfect Match, an out-of-the-ring challenge. Bobby Heenan, looking like classy Freddie Blassie, is smacking the Texas Tornado with a steel chair. Ted Dibiase looks totally stoned out right here. Curt Hennig's running in for a big old hug, and our commentators say, "Oh yeah, I don't believe it, Gorilla Monsoon. Mr. Perfect's been disqualified for outside interference." And none too soon, Macho Man, with two underhanded snakes like Bobby the Weasel Heenan and the $1 Million Man in Perfect's corner, the Tornado might as well be fighting a 3-man tag team. I really should have got some voice actors for this, but never mind that, Kerry Von Erich only has 1 foot. The winner, Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Tornado. Hennig says, "Von Erich, come here and finish this." The referee's like, "Get out of here, you loser." Ted DiBiase says, "I was afraid of this, switch to plan B." But sir, the danger of... hang on a minute, who's this guy? Who's this ginger eye patch wearing jobber? Danger? You know how dangerous it is to disappoint me, don't you? Yes, Mr. DiBiase, I am forever your little bitch. Hennig's all annoyed at Bobby Heenan. "How dare you interfere with my perfect match? I had him right in the palm of my hand. I was robbed of a perfect victory." "Calm your ham, Mr. P. I'm the perfect manager. I know what's best for you. It wasn't my fault. It was bad officiating. I'll file a protest with Jack Tunney." Yeah, like Jack Tunney's gonna do anything. That guy was the definition of useless. Look at Ted DiBiase down here, looking all sneaky and shit. The crowd chants Weasel. Bobby blames this loss on the humanoids, but the $1 Million Man wants to speak with Curt Hennig as Curt walks down the steps in the most athletic way possible. "How would you like another chance to beat the Texas Tornado?" "What do you mean, DiBiase?" "I want you to smash the Tornado. I want you to crush him once and for all. Understand?" Yeah, Ted, I think Perfect was trying to do just that in our previous match, but it didn't quite work out. You maybe missed that because you've been smoking all day and you're absolutely cabbaged. That's why I'm going to give you the chance. A free gift from the $1 Million Man. I'd be very disappointed if it wasn't free money. Later in the locker room, Texas Tornado, again with only 1 foot, says, "Next time I'll pin that coyote clean." Look at Hennig's face as he goes for the cheap shot. He's enjoying this way too much. Boom! A big elbow to the back. And DiBiase must want to get a little kinky as the Tornado realizes what he's in for. 2-on-1, padlock and chain. Oh dear. Wrong, cowboy. I don't need help to finish off a loser like you. Big kick to the midsection as Perfect says, "I'm going to break you, Texan, right here, right now, with no stupid referees, no catcalling, and no interference. It's going to be the perfect victory." The Texas Tornado wonders if Curt needs DiBiase to hold his hand, but he gets a devastating walk right to the chin. The answer is simple, peon. I'll be outside to guard the door, to make sure no one gets in, and to make sure the Texas Tornado doesn't get out. Man, you should have used that chain to tie Kerry up. The old broom on the door handle trick would have worked out just fine. I've waited months for this moment. I've watched hours of videotape of your matches. I've studied your moves. Kurt Hennig with the old front reach around right here. I've planned to absolute perfection every detail of this perfect beating. I'm gonna make you eat dirt. I'm gonna make you suffer. Tornado gets his head crashed through a bench, crashed with a K, so it's way more devastating. I'm gonna hurt you so bad you'll never forget it. I'm gonna be your worst nightmare. I don't like you at all. Fuck, there's me thinking you guys were actually really cool with each other. Kerry's clenching his fist as if to say, why man, why are you doing this? Outside the locker room, old stoner Dibiase enjoys the sweet sound of destruction before two cleaners show up. We're here to clean the locker room. What's going on in there? What's all that noise? Our cleaning friend gets fucking murphed as Dibiase slams a $100 bill in Colin the cleaner's face, and the boys leave. Everyone has a price for the $1 million man. The trash talking continues inside the locker room. Do us both a favour and lie down like the loser everyone knows you are. You may be strong, you may be tough, I'll give you that, but you're nothing like Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect, you talk too much. Man, you never shut up. You're right, Perfect, I'm not like you. I'm not a dirty, cheating, backstabbing bastard. How can you get up after the beating I just gave you? Oh, time out, folks. We've got an ad for Hulk Hogan vitamins. We call them vitamins, but you call them vitamins. And I've had to change the way I say it to avoid a million comments laughing at how we pronounce certain words. So congratulations, YouTube. Strip me of my dignity and identity, why don't you? Our ideas about vitamins have a lot of muscle behind them. Unlike other brands of chewable vitamins, Hulk Hogan's vitamins are made with only natural flavours like real strawberry, orange and steroids. They contain only natural steroids, nothing else, and absolutely no legal substances. We also added beta-carotene because the Hulkster told us how important that is for growing young bodies. And who's going to argue with Hulk Hogan? The Iron Sheik, Bret Hart, Scotty Steiner, the list goes on. A $3 rebate, hell yeah, expires on September 1991, so I'm a bit late, unfortunately. The Tornado fights back with a titty twister. I'm a better man than you'll ever be, and in your gut you know it. That's why you talk so tough. A big knee to the midsection follows. Deep down, you're scared of me. You can't out-muscle me. You can't out-brawl me. I've taken all you can dish out and come back fighting. The big womp slam follows as Kerry says, you said you wanted a one-on-one match, amigo. Wait, amigo? Did Kerry ever say... Oh, forget about it. Well, now you've got one. Look at this shitty individual in the showers with a wrench. Don't trust him, whatever you do. Let's see if you can take the heat. He's going for the Iron Claw, folks. It's all over, but wait. Looks like the ginger jobber is the shady guy hanging around in the men's showers. No weasel to help you, no $1 million man. There's no one here but you and me. Ah, mate, turn around. Nail-biting stuff. With a hiss and a screech, Ginger Jobber loosens a nut, and that wasn't the only nut he loosened today. But I've no idea why he didn't just whack Harry with his wrench. Rookie mistake, but I guess that's why he's a jobber. Lucky number one, come in. I like how Dibiase's numbered his henchmen. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know you on a personal level. You're merely a lackey. Ginger Jobber Lackey number one speaks into his Apple Watch. Everything's going to plan, Mr. Dibiase. This will be over fast. Our boy just nailed Tornado with his perfect plex. Now, I hate to be all high and mighty here, so apologies in advance, but that looks nothing like a perfect plex. Why don't you just give it up, Texas windbag? To which Kerry replies, I'll stop fighting when you do. And our two superstars do a little breakdance. Why should I? I'm winning, says Kurt as he jumps up for a punch. But he gets thumped with Kerry's good foot before replying with a good old-fashioned crack with a K. Ginger Jobber provides commentary. Boss, the momentum keeps switching back and forth. Tornado keeps coming back. To which Dibiase replies, I'm paying you to make sure he doesn't. You know the penalty for failing me. No pocket money for a week, and the Super Nintendo gets taken out of his bedroom. Where's your big mouth now? Perfect. Wait, what happened to his eye patch? Is this possibly the elusive, mysterious Lackey number 2? Perfect takes a slam. Dibiase's Lackey provides Hennig with a soft landing. And yep, it's Lackey number 2. Dibiase says nice work, while Kurt thinks his landing was all down to his perfect luck. Those janitors, whoever they really are, help Perfect every time I get the upper hand. This is nowhere near a fair fight. I'm getting out of here, one way or another. He's going for the alarm. Go ahead, Tornado, pull the alarm, call for help, go and quit. It's the same as if I beat you. You'll always know that you didn't have the guts to fight me. Go ahead and prove that I'm still perfect and you're nothing but a miserable yellow low-life coward. Just like every other Texan. Oh, you've gone done it now, Kurt. Mister, you've just brought yourself a whole new world of hurt. The big shaboom, my goodness. Texas Twister Punch. Mate, it's a tornado punch. And by the way, Kurt Hennig sold this move like a boss. Physics be damned. Look at that. Perfect has to outthink the Texas Tornado while Kerry gives chase. I'll get old Tex, says Lackey number 2 before making a splash all around Kerry's foot. Yeah, the joke's already played out. He slipped. Again, my luck is perfect, says Kurt, not realising that this has nothing to do with luck and it's all down to Ted Dibiase's ginger jobbers. And one of these jobbers keeps Dibiase informed of what's going on as Perfect applies a Cobra clutch, not a sleeper. Admit it, says Perfect. I have the mind, I have the body, I have the ability, I am absolutely perfect. And check it out, 3 lackeys. Eye Patch Lackey says, no crowd, no cameras, no one will ever know Von Erich won or lost this fight. Why doesn't he just give up? Chin Fluff Lackey wonders if Patchy the Pirate doesn't like seeing Kerry Von Erich suffer, and the Tornado's just about to say sushi while Perfect tells him to surrender. No, it's soap. What are you bawling about? Doesn't matter, push all you want, cowboy, nothing's gonna break the Perfect hold. Kurt kicks the bucket, he says, yeah. Kerry takes the mop away from Ginger Jobber and Kerry's ready to take on everyone. Well, what are you waiting for? Come on, I'll take on all 4 of you at the same time. Come on! Perfect then realizes what's been happening. You 3, what are you doing here? I asked you a question. Mr. Dibiase paid us to help you without you finding out. Please, I got a wife and 3 little kids. Get out of here, I don't want you. Oh, thank you, I'm still alive. I don't believe it. The jobber then thinks he's pulled a fast one on Kurt. I don't believe he actually fell for that stupid sob story. But Tornado pulls him back. You're not out of the woods yet, mister. Perfect says the $1 Million Man's ruined everything. This isn't the perfect match Kurt was looking for. So Kerry says, well, you've got your chance now. Come on. Later, you perfect fool. Outside, Dibiase counts his money, 100k. I'm always finding pocket change in this coat, but he gets crammed in the back and he gives a big oof. Don't you ever do that to me again. What was that all about? Here comes Kerry with a whomp and a thud as Dibiase says oofa and oof. I think these belong to you. And look, Kerry also tells Dibiase to never do that shit to him again. Dibiase gets his ginger jobbers off his back. He tells these jabronis that they should never do that to him again. My god. And by the way, you're fired. The end. What a lovely story. Who am I kidding? This was absolutely ridiculous, but still pretty enjoyable. Daft, goofy nonsense that could only come out of the early 90s. Speaking of which, check out our next ad. Tagger Electronic Games, hell yeah. Some absolute belters here include an Outrun, Thunderblade, Afterburner, Dick Tracy, and Mega Man 2. Video excitement in the palm of your hand. Yeah, not sure about that, matey. Says world's best games on that trophy. I'll lie if I've ever heard one. There's a giant 2-page Undertaker and Ultimate Warrior poster featured in this and every other BattleMania comic apparently, only it's different wrestlers. And look, they gave instructions on how to pull the poster out. Valiant Comics thought their readers were absolutely brain dead, and you know, they might have a point. Alright, here we go boys, the official WWF Fall and Winter 91-92 merchandise catalogue with a free mystery gift. Ooh. A Hulk Hogan sweater can be yours for $30, looks absolutely sick. We've got a Python Power Cup, a Hogan pillowcase so you can lay your tired little head right beside the man himself, a fabric Hulk Hogan print that makes Hogan look completely whopped out on coke, and look, a workout teddy bear you can bring to the gym with you. No one's gonna think you're demented at all. The painter's cap is pretty cool, but you wouldn't wear it in public in case you got bullied. But the Hulkster Rules bandana is totally fine. No one's gonna mess with you if you wear that. We get a page of Ultimate Warrior merchandise, including arm ties and wristbands. If you love the Ultimate Warrior, you would absolutely need these in your collection. And there's an Andy Warhol style poster that's actually pretty cool looking. I'm going to get this and put it up in my downstairs hallway. The Road Warriors were so over in the WWF that they got their own merchandise page. The spikes would have been my go-to for sure, and that What a Rush t-shirt still looks pretty badass. The Ricky Steamboat poster is also pretty cool, as it looks like he's shooting a nuclear explosion from his mouth. And look at this, I wasn't expecting to see complete tit brand knobs here. Big Boss Man selling his cap and sunglasses, so you too can have fun visiting funerals and dragging coffins around in your Bluesmobile. Bret Hart sunglasses cost a mere $5.95. That's some incredible value right there, considering a basic pink pair will now cost you $60 on Bret's website. We've got more great stuff like this unbelievably cool Rockers poster. Look at how cool the guys are, my god. The Rockers baseball cap, yeah, I'll probably give that a miss. And look at Sergeant Slaughter, it looks like he smelled a really bad fart. Raise your baby the real American way with this infant set so you too can bring up your very own little Hulkamaniac. And, oh dear, these Warrior and Hogan chairs. I mean, you're inviting kids to sit on their laps, their skin-coloured square laps, and look at their faces. Yeah, moving on. An Ultimate Warrior crayon by numbers set because every die-hard Warrior fan also loves crayons. Some Hogan and Warrior slippers are available right here, so you can stick Hogan's head right up your opponent's ass with one swift kick. There's a makeup kit available, the only official WWF makeup kit, and we've got the classic WWF Wrestling Buddies, legendary WWF toys right here. We've got jobber merchandise on the next page. When you don't have your own shirt as a WWF superstar, you can always wear this stuff. Autographed 8x10s are available on the next page, along with WWF candy. You can put all your drugs in that tin once you've eaten the sweeties. The trading card kit I assume would go for big money nowadays if you completed the whole set. And here it is, the grand finale. If you want her underwear to come off the moment she steps into the bedroom, then here you go, gentlemen. WWF Superstar bedding. You're gonna have to watch this one daily with all the action you're gonna get. That free mystery item that was advertised at the beginning. On the order form, it says you gotta spend $50 to receive this mystery item, and I can only guess it's a visit from Brian Knobs or something, who knows. The $1 Million Man says I don't need to be rich in order to subscribe to WWF BattleMania, but in 1991, $40 would have been a lot of money. My mom would have smacked me across the face if I asked for this comic every month, and besides, I don't even think they made 12 issues. On the next page, we've got an advert for Suburban Commando, and I really need to watch this for the channel. Hulk Hogan and Christopher Lloyd. What could possibly go wrong? We have another story in this first edition of WWF BattleMania, and the $1 Million Man is once again featured. Should have called this comic The Adventures of Ted Dibiase. Every man has a price, lifestyles of the brutal and infamous. This knobhead's called Jim Laser, I bet that's his real name. He's a talk show host, and he's got Ted Dibiase's personal accountant as a special guest. The accountant's name is Harold Wimpley. Wimpley claims to have information that could ruin the $1 Million Man, and Wimpley says, yeah, Ted may be the wealthiest, but he's also the weaseliest. That is not a real word, mate. Ted's also cruel, he's a low-down dirty dog, he's not nice, and he cheats. Wimpley gave Mr. Laser video proof that Ted Dibiase's a scumbag, but he has even more proof inside that brown envelope. He must protect this evidence with his life because whatever's in there, it could put Ted Dibiase away forever. Let's start at the beginning then. Why would a small, ordinary guy like you challenge a man so rich and powerful he could crush you like a grape? Roll the videotape, monkeys, and here we go. Wimpley narrates the video. He explains that he became a peeping Tom not too long ago and he snuck into DiBiase's home to film his spotless mansion. Ted has a well-stocked pantry, he has staff who make him food that has giant dollar signs on the dishes, and when DiBiase arrived to check what's for dinner, alongside Virgil, he decided to smash some caviar up his nose because it gets him high as a kite. Virgil's always there to give DiBiase a towel after he has a little toot, you know. Ted has his own personal gym. He uses 24 karat gold weights when getting a pump on. But one day, Virgil was caught using DiBiase's equipment. I mean, you'd think DiBiase would be cool with this, seeing as Virgil's his bodyguard, and I know I'm taking liberties. And Virgil thought DiBiase wouldn't mind either, but oh hell no, DiBiase got mad. Ted threatens to smash Virgil with a large piece of gold, and he launches the weight right at Virgil while reminding him he's not a contender. He merely lives to serve the $1 Million Man. Rawr, fuck's sake, come and get it. No, that's not what I... Mr. Dibiase, I don't want to fight. The $1 Million Man takes Virgil down. Wimpley explains, I saw a totally new relationship between the rich man and his faithful bodyguard. Even Wimpley's taking liberties here. A scene I'd never guessed could occur. You are a bodyguard, not a superstar. Leave my spectacular equipment alone. Dibiase throws his weight belt at Virgil just as Virgil runs out of the door, causing a big key rash. But Wimpley then began recording Dibiase in his high-tech, totally drug-free training room. I'm impressed with Wimpley's camera angles too. God knows how he didn't get caught. There's a guy who worked out Dibiase's most deadly enemies, there's a doctor, and there's also a psychiatrist. All Ted can think about is getting his hands on Virgil, so he dashes out of the room while calling his doctor P-Brains, and old Teddy Boy's rounded up a bunch of jobbers. The ones in blue will fight back, the ones in red will not, but they've been paid extra, apparently. So yes, these are the very definition of jobbers, but what about this guy dressed in both red and blue? Miserable paupers, I'll take you all on at once. Or are you scared, like that scum Virgil? Why, oh why didn't I stick with collecting recyclable cans? Because you, like everyone else, has a price for the $1 Million Man. Wimpley didn't want to see a 9-on-1 squash match, so he recorded footage of Dibiase's fitting room. The seamstress was making Ted a new sick suit, but she got interrupted by Virgil. Has Mr. Dibiase been looking for me? He's mad because I used his workout equipment. I don't know what to do. I know. How about hand in your notice, Virgil? Or, I don't know, snap at him and attack him in the middle of the ring when he least expects it. Well, why don't you deliver his new suit? That should cheer him up. Virgil then peeks into Dibiase's office while Ted's trying to fix his public image by bribing people. Virgil tries to hand over the suit. Ted thinks he's trying to steal it. The $1 Million Man compares Virgil to an unkempt dog, and he promises monetary bonuses to his staff if they can capture his bodyguard. Yeah, fuck me. Get out of my way, wimps. Yay! As Dibiase turns into Bruce Lee. And look at this lunge attack from the $1 Million Man, my goodness. The only thing that talks around here is money, and it says, I'm gonna kick your butt. Perfect position for a DDT right here, but Virgil swings Dibiase around while Ted sounds like that little robot shit from the Power Rangers. The $1 Million Man gets whooped into his high-tech gaming PC, but now he's going for the kill with a deadly elbow strike. Virgil gets smacked, but he grabs Dibiase's ankle, allowing for a sick little throw from Curly Bill. But then Ted decides he'll go after Virgil a little later on, and he runs away to what Wimpy calls his special room, a room hidden deep within the mansion. Ted wants an hour all alone, and I can only guess what kind of stuff he has locked in his vault. But it's your typical Scrooge McDuck money pit that cheers Dibiase up no end. Ted feels a lot better as he rubs cash all over his face and beard. This is how Ted recharges his soul. Money, dough, yeah. But then Virgil shows up to continue the fight. Yeah, I thought it was quite odd how the action just stopped so Dibiase could have a little moment with his wads of cold hard cash. Virgil dives in looking to punch Ted in the mouth, but instead he takes a kick to the face while a little dog yappity yap yaps. Ted tells the dog to shut its stupid mouth while Virgil has a mental breakdown. This is all way too mental, and it's like a bad acid trip. The fight spills into the laundry room, as in a legit money laundering room in every sense of the word, where Virgil makes a terrible joke about clotheslining his opponent. And from here, the fight went all over the mansion. This would have been a cinematic match for the ages if the WWF actually recorded this. They head to the kitchen where Dibiase throws caviar all over Virgil that kinda looks like black slop. They fight in the library where Dibiase says Virgil should have got an education and Virgil can read it and weep. My god. And our brawl goes all the way up to the balcony where the $1 Million Man blows some cash into Virgil's face. After all the violence we've witnessed in this fight, it was this that sends Virgil plummeting to the ground below. Luckily, he lands in a swimming pool, and it all ends with Virgil thinking he's fired, but instead Dibiase said he found their little scrap refreshing and challenging. Virgil keeps his job, and Ted orders 2 randomers to clean out his swimming pool. We go back to the talk show. Mr. Laser says, yeah, DiBiase's a real dick. And Wembley says, it's time to open up the envelope. Edge of your seat stuff right here, folks. I wonder what's inside. A different envelope gets delivered to the studio for Wembley. He thinks it could be a bomb or some other dastardly package from Ted Dibiase. But wow, he opens it up and he announces he just lied about everything, even though he had video evidence. Laser still wants to see the evidence inside the original envelope. Wembley sets it on fire while also saying the video footage was fake. Yeah, fake wrestling. I don't believe it. Wembley has a trip to Acapulco lined up, and you guessed it, Wembley received a stack of money from the $1 Million Man. Everyone indeed has a price. This is Jim Laser signing off. Absolute top class bollocks right here. A terrible story for sure, but again, I kinda enjoyed the insanity of it all. The comic includes 2 more adverts, one for WWF Superstars on Game Boy. I always like this ad, and check out Warrior's sick ear studs. He's so cool. And then there's another ad for the WWF Wrestling Buddies. I'd be more than happy to check out issue 2 if you guys want it, so let me know in the comments. I'm at a point now where I have way more fun looking at stuff like this as opposed to matches and shows, and I think that's because I cover way too many matches and shows. Seriously, the Reliving the War series has beaten me down badly, man. It really has. It's a shame this comic got cancelled after only a few issues, but I know there's other wrestling related comics out there, including Kevin Nash's very own publication, so maybe that's something we can look at in the future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was absolutely insane, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, and please take care.